order, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks very much for joining us for our weekend weather update and the outlook for next week. And you might have noticed the map behind me is upside down. Probably not hard to miss. So the reason why I've done this is because as weather forecasters, we're always looking for where the most interesting weather is, where the next sort of big surge of wind or rain might be coming from. And I got to say, about 80% of the time, it's coming from the Southern Ocean. So why is it that our maps are the other way around? Because it doesn't make a lot of sense that we look to the quietest part of the world, which is more towards the equator most of the time for us, and we sort of ignore the southern part. So this map, when you turn it around, you pay a lot more attention to the weather that's coming our way. It's coming from this side, moving that way. It's going that way around the globe. So when you look at it that way around, you start to notice, okay, that's where all the storms are. No wonder the South Island keeps getting clipped by these rain and wind events. Similar story in Australia, Tasmania and the southern parts of Aussie are constantly being hit by these Southern Ocean storms. But because they're always at the bottom of the map down here, they sometimes don't look quite as impressive as they actually are. So hope you enjoyed it, being the other way around. You know, it does seem kind of strange that the Southern Hemisphere all looks to the north, because our weather mostly comes, as I say, from out of the Southern Ocean. Let's get into the forecast. Things are back around the normal way now. As we look at the below zero maps, overnight tonight, we've got some big frost coming in for the South Island, mostly down in Southland and northern Southland, -3, 4, -5 potential. So pretty cold stuff, but it fades out the further north you go. And as we go into Saturday night, Sunday morning, the frost's a lot more about being up in the mountains, the ranges, Central Plateau, those sorts of normal, usual places. So this is the Saturday forecast. We do have high pressure parked over the eastern side of New Zealand. Get used to that. It's going to be there right through most of next week. And because it's parked out to the east, that's going to encourage milder winds out of the north. Northerly quarter winds, we call them, because they can be northerlies, nor'westers, or northeasterlies. So we'll be kicking off with a bit of a northeasterly here on Saturday in northern areas. Further down the country, there's a nor'wester slowly starting to build. To give you an idea, parts of Southland today, Friday, daytime highs around 9 degrees for some areas inland. By Monday, +17. So that's the difference. Warmer weather coming through, and it's thanks to this big high that will be parked out east. But it will be a bit cold on Saturday because of that southerly flow that's coming up today, Friday, and then fades out in the morning. As we go into Sunday, you can see those warmer winds blowing through. That's why frosty weather's not looking as likely, and if it is, it'll be right into the mountains. So you'll see Sunday rain clouds return to the west coast. Get used to that as well if you live over there. Got some very wet weather coming. There's a story up on our Weather Watch homepage at the moment talking about almost half a metre of rain coming over the next 4 days, Saturday to Wednesday, on the west coast. Most of that heavy rain, central and southern parts of the west coast, so the least populated areas and the rainforests, but we will be seeing some heavy falls slowly moving northwards, mostly dry in the North Island, but these are easterlies. There's just the chance of a shower, an isolated one at the very top of the North Island on Sunday. Let's go into next week now. Monday, no real change. High pressure parked out to the east, rain on the west coast, patchy sort of falls for the northern half, and maybe an isolated shower in northern New Zealand, otherwise not a lot going on there. Most of the weather focused on Monday is really actually over in the southeastern corner of Australia, with a wintry southerly coming in for Adelaide, Melbourne and Hobart. And by Tuesday, that wintry southerly goes into Sydney and even Brisbane to some degree, and then a low starts to form on the other side of it. That doesn't impact New Zealand just yet. It's Groundhog Day. If you haven't seen that movie, it's just a repeat of what's going on. It's a great movie, by the way. If you're in lockdown in New Zealand, I mean, you should be watching that this weekend. You've got light easterlies to the north. Nor'westers continuing to blow elsewhere, so that's why it's warmer next week in the South Island, and it's subtropical as well. This is what we talked about in our Climate Watch update last month, that the first half of August would be a bit cold with a few southerly injections, but the other half of August more likely to be dominated by high pressure, and now we're seeing some subtropical weather coming through as well. And our final map for Wednesday next week shows this big low in the Tasman, but it is actually weakening. It's stuck between high pressure out to this side, high pressure out to that side, so that makes it look a little bit more intense than it might actually be, because you have the windy squash zone, southerlies on that side, mild northerlies on that side. So the middle of next week, cold southerlies in Australia, mild subtropical northerlies for New Zealand. And that's the forecast. By the way, don't forget, we're also doing at the moment, because of the lockdown in New Zealand and because some people are going a little bit nuts staying at home, we're doing some extra videos. So we do have our global weather watch video that we're putting out at the moment, and it's covering just sort of the weather highlights going on around planet Earth. You'll see those videos up on the Weather Watch and Rural Weather websites, on our app as well, and also for those of you who are following us on YouTube, that's where you'll get it first of all. That is all from me. Have a great, safe weekend. We'll see you Monday.